Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where I want to find out if Britain will get involved if we attempt to make Persia into a protectorate. Now, I have a feeling that they will if we do it right now. 49.5 infamy means we would be up over 50 infamy, so we need to drop down to 0.5 before we do this. Or like 0.4, really? So let's take forward a little bit further. We'll be able to finish up these gold mines, which would be absolutely great. We would love to get those done. That will, of course, produce us quite a lot of additional cash out of our minting, and we're currently doing okay as far as taxes go. Now, if Britain were to get involved here, what would we do about it? Well, we don't have any plays available. Hang on, are we still truced with them? We are. We're still truced with Britain until 1886, 11 December. So we have a year and a half on that front. Okay, so if Britain wouldn't get involved due to a truce, that is a good sign, actually. They are showing up as being undecided here, but we do have a truce. So that's good to know. 49.5 infamy is a lot of infamy. Let's let this drop a little further. We're down to 0.8 right now. We need to let this go for like 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So that'll be fine. 0.7. And the next week will bring it down to 0.6, 0.5, somewhere in there. It's not exactly 0.1 per week. So this week could be the week, but if it's not, then it's definitely next week. 0.5? Okay, next week it is. Beautiful. So interventionism has attracted additional supporters. That's fine. We are now at 0.3. Perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to make Persia our protectorate. That's 49.6 infamy. We'll force this diplomatic play. 49.6. It was 49.5 before, but we're at 0.3. So we'll remain below 50 with this, but only just. So let's get this going and we'll see who exactly is planning to join this. Currently, the Ottoman Empire is leaning towards Persia. Okay. We're probably reasonably fine with the Ottoman Empire getting involved here. They're relatively weak compared to us. Relatively. We should probably, if they do get involved, bump up our military wages. But I'm not going to do that yet. If they do get involved, we're not really in a position to take any territory from them, and they did get involved. Okay, let's go ahead and bump up our military wages then. There we go. And now the question is, just how much do we want to devote to this? Well, Persia is quite weak. The real question is, how committed are the Ottomans to this? I think for the moment, we're just going to continue to tick forward. I don't expect anyone else to come in here. Great Britain has a truce. Prussia doesn't really have any interest in this area so much. Maybe Egypt would join. But we'll see. So the Ottomans would be a little bit painful for us. We should probably begin mobilization fairly soon, and I'm currently leaning towards 2 armies. The 5th Russian, which is our smaller main army, and we can mobilize that and send that down to this front. And then we would get the 3rd Russian army, which is already at the Caucasus HQ, and we would just mobilize that and put it at this front here. Now, that's going to be a little expensive for us. This isn't shocking, necessarily. And what do we want to do about that particular situation? Well, for the moment, I'm not too concerned about it. We have these gold mines being built. We'll keep an eye on this, but I want to check in on our mobilization setup here. Okay, so we're running the luxurious supplies right now. That's reasonably fine. So what is considered expensive? Ammunition and opium. And of course, we've got some of those transportation shortages still. So I want to get these gold mines finished up and these railways. Beyond that, we know that ammunition and opium are slightly expensive. So I'm going to put in a couple of munitions plants. This will be in Transbaikal. I put those at the top, but we'll move them in a moment. And I also want to get in some opium plantations. So that will be probably in Khiva here. We'll do... Oh, okay, sure. I guess one in Khiva and one in Tajikistan. Whatever. That's fine. So what I want to do here is I want to just move these guys up like so. and then maybe have the munitions plants and the opium be evenly spaced. Something like that. So we are definitely spending a lot of money here. No doubt about it. And we can definitely see a lot of people beginning to mobilize up. This was about the right time to mobilize, I think. So we can see we're at minus 15 over here. We're still mobilizing this army. These guys are on defense. That seems okay. These guys are on attack. There's no one on this front right now. So if we can just hold this front and push in over here, this would be absolutely fine. We have no problem whatsoever with that one. So that seems good. We are definitely spending a lot of money on this, but our gold mines will help cover some of that. By no means will they cover all of these expenditures. This is relatively expensive. So do we need to mobilize any more, is a question that we need to ask here. We may want to mobilize one additional army. It would be very expensive, no doubt about that. I'm just thinking here, if they were to bring this army forward... Oh, right, there is the Sinai front over here that I kind of completely forgot about. Let's mobilize our National Guard here. And let's bring them out over to this front. Okay, so we're sending them over. They're probably not going to arrive before the outbreak of war. Yeah, war has broken out at this time. And we're going to head over this direction. And we can see that they're immediately attacking us. We are winning this defense, and we are winning this defense as well. Out over this way, we are attacking, and we are winning. So this is looking good. I'm actually very pleased with how this is going for right now. I'm a little concerned about this army existing here. We'll see how that goes. And I'm not sure where they're sending all of these forces. They might be trying to get around to here, but that would be a strange way to go, in my opinion. But we'll see. So I want to make sure that these guys have leadership. That would be helpful. We'll give this guy. Okay, and they are attacking. So that looks good for the moment. I'm concerned about this force being deployed here and wiping out our National Guard. We'll see about that. For the time being, I think this is fine. So we're going to continue to press in here. We won that attack. We are going to be taking some hits on this front. But for the moment, I think this is reasonably fine. So what do we have going on here? We're winning this defense as well. We just need to slow them down on this front while we occupy over here and over here. So this all looks relatively good at this time. We could mobilize additional forces. I don't believe them to currently be necessary. But we'll see. So for the moment, this looks relatively okay with just the 3 armies. These 2 armies are being held in reserve. If we need to mobilize them, we will, but I would prefer not to spend the money on that. So that looks good for the moment. We do see that there are battles occurring over here now. And they're pulling these guys over. Okay, this is potentially bad on this front. We'll see what that looks like. Yes. Okay, I'm switching these guys over to a front defense position. Do we want to mobilize an additional force and send them over? It would definitely clean things up for us a lot if we did that. It's going to be expensive, but we're just going to hold this front until these guys can arrive. Cool. So this front will continue to be held. I want to be able to press forward on the Sinai front. We've used that very successfully in the past, and I want to continue to do that. Of course, out here in Persia, things are going to be a little bit slow, and this is very expensive, no doubt about it. But we are arriving now, and we should arrive at this front very, very soon. So we're winning this defense. That looks good. I want these guys to be back on offense now. We could even go for a rapid advance. I think we're just going to advance front out over here, though. So that looks good for the moment. Now I'm also going to pull our National Guard out from here, and we're going to send them to go reinforce the front over here. They are not needed now that we have a full army out over this way. So that'll be fine. We're continuing to press into Persia. All of this looks relatively good for the time being. And we're just going to pull our National Guard over here to assist. Cool. So we should be easily winning over on this side, and indeed we are. No problem whatsoever there. That all looks good. So the Ottoman Empire is going to start crumbling a bit here. We are definitely having a hard time on this front, but again, all we need to do is slow them down. They're going to have a really hard time pushing past the Caucasus, and our other fronts are pushing in on the two flanks. This is fine. I don't mind losing a bit on this front here. It's completely okay. The thing that isn't completely okay, of course, is the situation here. Now, we're going to go with the Persian Protectorate, absolutely. Maybe we should have gone with Ottoman war reps. We should have tossed in Ottoman war reps. Absolutely, we should have. That was a mistake, but that's noted. Okay, so at this point, Persian Protectorate currently has 348 reasons to not accept this. Fair enough. They're going to be losing war support very, very soon. Here, we're pressing into Persia nicely. Can they be dropped below 0 yet? No. We must need to occupy their capital state, and I'm not sure what the Persian capital state is in this period. Let's take a quick look here. Where is their capital? I'm sure we have it here somewhere. Up over here. That's their capital state. Okay. We're definitely pressing in towards that. So I want to set a strategic objective to be that. Beautiful. As far as this over here goes, we're fine with just occupying whatever we can of the Ottoman Empire. So that'll be absolutely great. Beautiful. Now we are seeing the Third Russian Army taking some hits here. No doubt about that. The Third Russian Army is getting a little low on manpower. But this is getting better for us. So they must be getting low on manpower as well. They're shifting troops around. And we're just continuing to press in on the Persian front here as well. So this looks good. We will continue to press in over here as much as we can. And yeah, all things considered, this looks fine. They are continuing to pressure on this side, but I'm okay with that. Again, we're going to get pushed back to the Caucasus, and then they're going to have a really hard time pushing through there. So all we need to do is delay on this front. We don't need to win this front. So that all looks good. Continuing to press into Persia, I would have preferred if we had actually attacked their capital state here. Unfortunately, it did not happen, but now we are attacking their capital state. So that is very, very good. Once we have that done, their war support can drop below 0, and we can start properly pressing in here. Cool. We're definitely spending some money on this war. I do wish that we had gotten the Ottoman Empire war reparations. That does make me sad, but, you know, that's my own fault, so I should have done that. Absolutely. We are losing these defenses over here. This is due to the Third Russian Army being quite low on manpower, but the Ottoman Empire just capitulated. They bailed on this war, and the reason that they did this, of course, is because they have nothing to lose. We had no claims on them. They wouldn't have bailed quite that quickly if we had demanded the war reparations, but they probably would have bailed fairly soon. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to demobilize the Third Russian Army as soon as the First Russian Army arrives. The First Russian Army has much better manpower at this time, and the Third has gotten a bit of a beating. As soon as the First arrives, I want to pull back the Third Russian Army. We'll switch the National Guard over to advancement. And these guys are going to be going home and starting to retrain. Okay, so we've arrived here. Now I want to early demobilize the Third Russian Army. They'll be unavailable for 90 days, and that's fine. We're just going to send them home, and they're going to start retraining. We just bring fresh troops to the front, and as they demobilize, this will cost us less and less money. So that will be absolutely good. Now, we don't occupy their capital fully yet. We are definitely getting there. Persia is quite under control at this moment, and we're down to 43.2 infamy. We did finish up construction on all of those gold mines. That is absolutely great. What else might we need here? Well, it's going to be transportation. Okay, so we should take a look at this. We now have interventionism. Okay, that is absolutely noted. So with interventionism, you can see that instantly our finances get far better. And that is because our investment pool transfer just got a lot better, I think. I'm fairly certain that that's what happened. But that does mean that we have more private construction. That's okay. We don't mind this. We're making money right now. And these guys are just busily retraining at this point. So that sounds great. Let's let this war wrap up. We really don't need any further intervention with it. They will give up fairly soon. Yeah, they're at -7 war support right now, but 3 reasons to not accept this. Now they have 6 reasons. Let's just end the war. Beautiful. So the war is over, and we are making a lot of money now. But we can use that to pay down this debt, and then we can cut taxes. 16.5k? Maybe we should consider cutting taxes now. You know what? We can do it. We can cut taxes straight down to the middle taxation level, and I love it. So we're going to do exactly that. And now we need to work on some transportation shortages. So let's take a look at the Alaskan Railway here. This needs to be on wooden passenger carriages to have additional transportation. It's very strange, isn't it? Because wooden passenger carriages give more transportation, but cargo prioritization is actually what we want to do. We need the transportation for cargo, but the wooden passenger carriages give us more transportation, so we take that. Now, we're almost certainly going to need an additional railway here, and we're going to get going on that. What else do we have going on here? Well, this needs an expansion, for sure. Western Afghanistan, this may need an expansion as well. It does. Eastern Afghanistan, this railway also probably needs an expansion. Novgorod, what do we have going on here? We can absolutely go to wooden passenger carriages, and then it probably needs an expansion. And then we've got East Karelia. Now, this is still hiring up. We can subsidize it, give it wooden passenger carriages, and then we may or may not need an additional railway there for now. So we can get these guys going for now. That all looks good. And with our taxes cut, our standard of living is going to start coming up, as you can see. I'm also interested in getting some additional construction. How much is something we need to ask? Well, 5 would be about 20k worth. And honestly, that feels decent. So we'll get those constructed and get our construction expanded. So that's fantastic. Now, Kalat is still rebellious towards us, and we're working on improving relations with them. We're also working on improving relations with Belarus. I want to work on Persia, now that they are our protectorate. And then we can think about, eventually, the Sikh Empire. But right now, that's not really an option. 24 infamy, and we are currently at 41.9 infamy. So we definitely need to continue to work our way through that. We're going to have trench works in 22 months. I want to check in on our innovation here. We're still at about +1 for our innovation. Okay, so no additional universities needed at this time. That looks great. There's a revolution going on in North Germany. Okay, that seems fine as well. We can also think about doing things like autonomy reductions in places like Belarus. They wouldn't accept it. I don't want to do it if it's going to risk spiraling into a larger war. That's the thing. We just don't want a larger war right now. So that's all reasonably fine. Now, a lot of this is going to be coming out of our investment pool, and our investment pool is currently growing by about 20k. So we probably need to get additional construction sectors over what we have queued up here. Most likely. Down to about 18k. Sure. So that means it's a 50% contribution, right? So that means that we need to expand this by about another 15 or so K, but it's actually going to be another 30k. So this is going to end up being, what, 6 of these? Something like that. Now, that's going to dwindle away our finances at about the same rate as the investment pool finances. But I'm okay with that. We are paying down our debts, and we will continue to do so. This is just... Oh, pump jacks. Okay, so pump jacks is pretty major, and oil has been discovered as well. Okay. Automatic irrigation is going to be pretty decent, but doesn't that also give us pump checks giving us a way to do diesel pumps? No. That's going to require compression ignition. Okay, noted. So that's fine for now. The vineyard can go to automatic irrigation. Yes, I'm aware that that's going to potentially create some problems. And the rest of these... Okay, this is all just plantations. So the engine price is going to absolutely spike here. That is noted. Do we want to go to the steam donkey here? That's going to also spike the price of engines and coal. I'm going to do it, but it's not going to be pretty. That's the answer. So that's fine. At this point, can we go to Bone China? No, we cannot. So there's no point in doing that right now. There's really, really no point. We don't really want to consume more... Actually, this would produce transportation. That's also going to destroy the price of engines. So engines are going to be a concern here, as are coal. I want to take a look here. So we should build... What's our current economy of scale cap? Our current economy of scale cap is 30. Noted. I'm going to queue up 12 in Moscow. It's a lot. We're going to move these construction sectors up first. And then I want to queue up a fair amount of coal production as well, because we're almost certainly going to need it. Also in Moscow? I suppose we could do it also in Moscow. Okay. So something like that. Construction sectors take priority. And then I want to intersperse motor industries and coal mines, which, of course, this is going to be a somewhat tedious process. We can put a motor industry there. We don't have to do these all at once, though. So it'll take a little bit to get even just down to there. And that's reasonably fine for now. Okay, so we'll get going on that. This is going to have some significant repercussions to our economy. We're going to have input shortages of engines, probably. That said, I believe that we can expand our motor industry employment somewhere. Not here. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Transportation shortage in Alaska, Yakutsk, and Western Afghanistan at this time. So that means that we don't need the railway in Novgorod or Eastern Afghanistan. It would just be these three. For the moment, I'm okay with that. Let's get these construction sectors completed. That is top priority right now. And apparently we were building an oil rig in our private construction. It's not being started yet, but it is here. Okay, noted. For now, we probably don't need oil rigs, although we're definitely going to want them. I'm not going to get them just yet. Although we should probably... if they're going to private construct, that might be just okay. We might just let them private construct for the moment. Cool. So we've got 2 more construction sectors finishing up here. We can see we're at 6.62K here with our investment pool. 3.66K. Noted. So our investment pool is currently still growing, although not by much. Let's let this continue to fill up in terms of employment, and we'll see what this ends up looking like. There, that's what we want to see. Investment pool going down, but we're still making money. The question is, will that continue to be the case over the next several weeks? I expect it will, but we'll see. More oil has been discovered. This is always a good thing. We definitely do want oil, no doubt about that. Okay, now we can move up these motor industries. We are absolutely going to need some motor industries here. More oil discovered in Azerbaijan. We're going to get a lot of that. We're going to get a whole lot of oil being discovered. And that's good. We absolutely want that. So our motor industries are going to end up being about here for now, and we'll continue to move these guys on up, interspersing them with the coal mines. And this will be absolutely fine for the moment. The Red Scare, huh? The Paris Commune is becoming a thing? 2% of lower strata pops become more loyalist? We can't pass that up. Absolutely, we'll get more lower strata pops loyal. That'll be great. So next up would be Crisis in Paris. The Paris government has no leg to stand on. Or actually, it could use a change in government. That might give us an opportunity to go after Lithuania, which would be absolutely great. We would love to do that. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Yeah, they've got that Paris commune going on. 11,386, we don't want to pull the trigger on that right now, that's for sure. Especially after we just heavily expanded our construction. So, Great Britain no longer rivaled us. That's a really good sign. Very pleased to see that one. And then we have 4 motor industries still down here. Let's just let this go for a bit. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on our economy here. Our economy is in a significantly better state than it was, and a significantly better state than I expected. We do have paper as an expensive good right now. If that's still the case after we get done with our motor industry and coal mine expansion, we'll see. We'll see about expanding our paper industry at that time, if private construction hasn't already gotten there by then. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadowwolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.